This girl on my Instagram made this post, and the post says, "If I look materialistic, then why would you come over here with no materials?" Man, women be the most toxic and funny at the same time. But in a sixth sense, I understand. If you're not materialistic, I like niggas with money, then why you coming over here with no money?
But you know what the part that gets me mad? Oh, it's not all about the money. When a girl talks about a guy that she wants, it's not all about the money. I just
Nah.
like having a good time.
The crazy part is it's a double standard because if I said, well, you know I like sex, why would you come over here with no pussy for me? That would be wild, right?
I don't even think that's like, is that legal?
Oh my God. Wow. Do I owe you anything? It's my body, my choice. Why do I need to do this? I don't have to do anything. I don't owe you any. All right,
You know,
dog,
you know why the dating pool is so fucked for our generation? Because first of all, you have a lot of niggas that scam for no. They don't even have to scam, and they scam just to get a certain image wise.
Yeah, of course. You
And
come from
then-
a good family, dog. Stay in Wellington. Salute.
Shouts out to Wellington.
I'm just saying.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Like they live in Wellington, and on top of it, you have a woman now where she comes off as like, oh, every single like a lot of women, every single post you half naked. So I'm thinking, oh, you easy to get at. So when you
Allegedly.
that's what a lot of men think. So when they literally meet at on a first date, quote unquote, they just lying to each other. First of all, the nigga got no money, and the girl don't want to fuck. That's why every first date be awkward as shit because everybody lying to each other in the dating pool.
Yeah, we might as well be ourselves. And if we click,
Oh, that's
we
no
click.
fun.
Yeah, you're right. That's not fun. Welcome to another episode of These Are the Aesthetics. I go by the name of Cheech, a.k.a. the Hood Journalist, a.k.a. Never Fuck Up Your For Sure for a Maybe, a.k.a. There's certain things I'm just too fly to do. Call me bougie, but it is what it is, man. I can't be out here going outside. That's what it is.
I respect it. I respect it. Shoot, I go by the name of Gary, aka In Gary We Trust, aka that nigga talk too much on YouTube and all social platforms, aka aka if you're giving unsolicited advice, it is lecturing,
Of course.
aka Black business supporter.
You know what's crazy? To piggyback from one of your AKAs, that's something I had to learn as a man. Asking the woman, hey, would you like me to listen or would you like me to give you advice? Because you know me. Because you know me. I'm always quick to fix some shit.
Yes.
And now I'm starting off on a rant, and it's like the bitch is like, I had a bad day. I just wanted you to shut the fuck up and hug me. And I'm like, I'm looking stupid because I'm like, bitch, I thought you said you had beef. Like, I'm trying to, you know what I mean?
Dude, the thing is, like, the problem I have, I'm like way too approachable.
Okay, which is not a bad thing.
It's a good and a bad thing because now, like,
You're not a street nigga. Last time that I checked.
I'm a proud, safe ass nigga, law abiding citizen at that. So the thing that irritates me is that like when someone asks for like people love to like give me advice and they kind of just want to just rant to me, which is not an issue, but it's like, fam, I just did like an 8.5 hour shift. It's currently like it's 7 o'clock. My girlfriend's laying right next to me, and I have food.
I appreciate the love, but
fam,
salute.
and I know this is like really good advice, but now it's just not the time. But it comes off rude when you say that.
So what do? You just shrug it off? You fake laugh your way out the situation?
Every time I say like, oh, bro, I really appreciate it.
So you say
I'll
that
leave it
what
at
4 times before
Yeah.
they get it?
No one ever picks it up.
Yeah, bro. Dog, I really appreciate it.
I really
Thank you so much, bro. Nah, for real, for sure. I hear you. I hear you, though.
I hear you, though. That's a fact.
You know what? That's crazy. Thanks, dog.
Thanks, dog.
That's love.
You should-
Wait, when I start hitting you with that's love.
And then I ended with, I'm glad that you give a fuck.
Nah, okay. I would feel some type of way if you say that. Because what do you mean?
Because you don't even know if I do. You don't know if I do. I'm glad you give a fuck. You should, man. But how,
Or white people say, I appreciate your support. I like that. I like
I'm
that.
gonna start using that.
Yeah.
Aha. I appreciate the love.
Yeah, man.
So like, I feel like I haven't talked to you in 2 weeks. So like,
Nah, that's not true.
so
That's not. That's not starting on that. Nah, we didn't speak at all this week. I would not say the complete week. We spoke here and there. We left voice notes for each other.
voice notes. That's where our relationship is.
I
at,
mean,
everybody.
we in the
Voice
group
notes.
chat every day. You know what I mean? So it ain't like we don't interact. We were just not, on the phone like we used to and shit like that. So
I hear you. I know you're too busy, man. It's okay.
I'm working. I'm not gonna say I'm too busy because that would imply that I'm too busy
You
to
know,
have a
phys-
conversation with my friend.
You know what pisses me off with Cheech? He gives me the same excuse he tells like a woman.
But you know what's crazy?
It's the exact same excuse.
You have insight of my life. Like at any given point of the day, you know where Cheech is at directly at
But-
this very second.
But what pisses me off with you is like when you give me some bullshit excuse, I have to remind you, Cheech, I'm not trying to fuck you.
But it's not no bullshit excuse.
That's a bullshit excuse. I had a long day at work. Fair.
Nah, because you know what it is? It's important for me to say that because I hate doing things halfway. And you know that. When I'm doing something, I'm very passionate about it. I'm not trying to get on the phone with you because our phone calls, they rarely last 2 minutes. We be on the phone for like an hour, 45 minutes, just like the least.
the least.
So it's like when we start chopping it up, that's not the time I feel like I have to be doing something. I have to give you that time because you feel me? We owe each other that. At least to have a conversation and just check up on each other. So I just don't like to be occupied when we talk because I know our talks really go. And the way we talk and the way our mouth is, I can't be around certain people having certain conversations because we get foul. We are really unfiltered when we talk. So yeah, man.
That's a fact. So how has your week been?
My week has been a little busy, man. There's a lot happening all at once. I'm doing better with time management. I'm having some free time now. Soon. To really do what I want to do, to rest and to power up to do certain things, man. Because I'm starting to feel. I don't know. I guess when you have enough time in your hands, it gives you some type of clarity onto what you should be doing. And sometimes when you spend enough time doing the wrong thing or something that consumes most of your time, like it makes you think about the other side. And that's kind of like where I'm at right now. So, I'm trying to allocate the right time to the right stuff and still have time for myself.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. I've been straight. I'm finally at a point now in my job where I feel like I know what the fuck I'm doing.
Okay.
That's always a good feeling where it's like,
past the 90 days, pretty much.
pretty much. I know what the fuck I'm doing by now. So yeah, which is good. I feel like the relationship with my friends, I feel it's at a different level because there's certain shit that y'all be saying to me in the group chat. It's like, y'all know I'm in the group chat, right?
But you know what it is? You know how to stop that. You refuse to stop it. All you got to do is come out and spend time with niggas and don't leave you alone.
It's like, one of my biggest questions in life is, what do my friends say when I'm not in the room?
Oh, man.
But the communication has been better with a lot of people in my life. Gael is good. My grandmother is actually... Did Vin Diesel pass by already?
I don't know. I hate niggas like that because I always think in my head, like, all right, nigga, we get it.
Anyway, but my grandmother, she's doing a lot. She's doing a little bit better. She's a little bit more coherent. She's having full conversations with us again. So
That's dope.
She's
That's always
cracking
good news.
jokes again, which is always a blessing.
It's always good.
I definitely gotta tell y'all like last time I saw my grandmother, both my grandmothers, they're on both sides of my family. She was watching her, and my grandmother, she's like, hey, I want to go outside, so I'm helping her in her wheelchair. And then this is my grandmother, which is, some people call it, I love you, grandma, but like the crazy ones. She's like, hey, Miles Z. She calls me by one of my middle names, the name she gave me. That alone is kind of crazy. She called me Gary, I think, twice in my life.
That's crazy.
So she says, Miles Z, you gonna do this for me one day, right? And I'm like, yeah, of course, grandma. I love you. And then she says, that was a joke. I want you to shoot me by then.
Yo, the
Like-
older people have a dark sense of humor, bro.
Like, fam, it's like, do you have to make these jokes while my grandmother's here sick in her bed and shit? Like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
other than that, I'm okay.
But yeah, but but older people reach a level, bro. They really don't give a fuck. Like they stop caring. They say whatever they want. They make whatever joke they want because they feel like nigga, I earned that now.
You
Like
should. And I want to appreciate everyone that's been hitting me up saying that, oh, I'm Gary, I'm very proud of you that you were opening up a little bit on the last episode.
that was dope.
Which I do appreciate. And like with no episode being last week, people were hitting me up more. They're like, yo, everything good? Like, yeah, everything's good.
It's okay.
You know, it was Cheech's fault.
Yeah, it was because of me. I was having some car issues, and yeah, I didn't want to, potentially not be here for the sake of content. So we chose the safer route, which is
Cheech had Cheech like didn't want to. He was trying to hide his pride because he could have called someone to bring him, but not me.
Nah, that's actually a good like little convo, because it's like as a man we hate bothering other men.
No, not other men. I'm talking about women.
Oh my God! All right, let's get in on topics. Hey, yo, what's up? Nah, but you know what's crazy? Things are rocky right now in the relationship realm, and just my the women in my life. It's
Can I express this? Like,
everything has a question mark around it now.
Not to put out like one of my boys' business out there, but I'm not gonna say his name. But he literally one of my homies got back from like an airport. He like literally just arrived at the airport. He's like, damn, it's 3:00 in the morning. I need a ride back home. Not trying to pay for Uber. And he's like, I know this one bitch I be fucking with will get me, but I would have to spend the night.
Yeah, you should.
That's some shit men really have to think.
1,000%. And even when you thinking about asking another man for a favor, it's like, damn, now I'm really gonna be like passenger princess in this nigga car, like. We just not used to. I don't think men don't know how to really ask for help, I guess, which is a deeper conversation we could talk about another time.
Yes and no, but then you have I have friends like you where it's like you were down to do anything for me, but then you have friends like Terrence that will hold that shit over your head.
Over your head. That's a fact. Tez could have bought you a candy in 3rd grade. Nigga, remember when you couldn't afford a candy bar? Nigga, I did that. Now, if I want to borrow your car, you better let me use it, cause nigga.
Hey,
oh my God.
We have a freaking loaded ass episode this week
For sure.
First off, we gotta get a lot of shit has happened. We will try our best to get through all of it, but we have to talk about the shit that's like literally taking over the internet right now, which is the new Chris Rock stand up, which is a selective outrage. That's the title of the stand up. First, I'll give my opinion. I know you haven't seen the full stand-up, but you've been watching clips. I saw it in full, I want to say twice by now.
Okay.
First, I want to say is I loved it.
That's dope. You actually watched it twice.
Yeah, I watched it twice. Like, me and God watched it, and I was laughing my ass off from start to finish.
Wait, we're not going to let you just skip past that. So you watched it with your girl.
Yeah.
And then you want to watch it alone.
Oh, of course.
Which one is a better experience? What? Yeah, we gotta have these honest conversations as men. Watching some shit with your girl or watching it by yourself. Which one is a better experience?
With my girl, of course. Of course. Anyway, back to Chris Rock. What I loved about the stand-up is that, remember, this has been his first stand-up in about, I think, 5 years since he did Tambourine. So
it's been 5 years already?
Pretty much. I think it's been 5 years. The last stand-up I've seen of Chris Rock that's been like a big Netflix special or just a big special was Tambourine, which I didn't really enjoy that much.
Okay.
So pretty much he talked about almost everything, shit that's been going on with the country, even with like Meghan Markle in the royal family. I'm glad he called that shit out because I've been saying for years, it's like I feel like this woman because obviously you're very aware of like the royal family. They damn near pretty much the OGs of racism, just like he said in the stand-up. And it's like Meghan Markle, I understand that she's been doing like every freaking interview saying, oh, you guys should feel sorry for me because I'm not being accepted by this family that's freaking pretty much invented colonialism. But like, fam, it's like, and Chris Rock said it best, it's like, I think this is like, no one really cares because this is like, honestly, your first time your light skin card didn't work.
I could understand that.
Which makes sense. I just love the way like he put it. And then obviously he talked about his family. And then he talked about the Will Smith slap at the end.
Okay.
Now,
smart.
What were you going to say?
I says that's smart.
which is smart. But of course, some people had some issues with that because they're thinking that they're gonna watch a full hour of Chris Rock breaking down what happened that night. Which is like, fam, it's like this man is a freaking comedic rock star. I'm pretty sure this slap was probably a blip in his life.
Of course.
Now, my only issue with the stand-up is that, like, he did come off as a little bit nervous, which is completely understanding because, fam, no one's really heard of you speak in about a year since it happened. So there's a lot of shit for you to say. He was even kind of fucking up on his jokes a little bit because at one point he was just venting. So, and the issue I have with people on Twitter, they just rush to Twitter saying that, oh, it wasn't that funny. He waited a year just to say this bullshit. He deserved to smack this and that. And like, fam, I want to tell everyone, if you didn't like this stand-up, you like, I'm pretty sure you're one of them niggas that go on TikTok all day that have a very short attention span.
Okay.
Yeah, so what was your idea?
I mean, I think Chris Rock does mature comedy now. I think
I think he always has. It's just been hilarious.
Yeah, I just know, but I feel like now, like even his last special, the Tambourine special, he talked about, getting a divorce from his wife and, the fact that he cheated. It's like there's certain cliche topics now that I think as you get older, you can't run away from. You can't play it off like, I cheated on my bitch. I fuck bitches. I got hoes. Like, it's not as cool to talk about now, and it's not something to brag about. Because even there's certain songs Jay-Z even said, I can't perform anymore because I have a daughter. Or I'm married to Beyonce now. Out of respect for that union, there's certain things I can't do. There's certain people I can't be affiliated with.
Shows and shit.
Yeah, so it's just, I feel like with everything in life, just like there's regular restaurants like Chili's and Buffalo Wild Wings, and there's 5-star dining spaces, I feel like there's enough comedians in the world that everybody should have their box, right? And I think, Chris Rock has, because he's a legacy act, because he's already stamped in black comedy and comedy, period, and, he's respected, across the board by a lot, especially some of his peers that really matter. I just feel like he's a refined taste in as far as his comedy style. Like, you have to be, like the nigga talked about, hey, my wife got, same amount of money as me and she's not that funny. Yeah. It's just like, that's him saying, hey, I got a divorce, she got half of my shit and she did not put in the work for it. It's just, he's breaking down complex issues to make them digestible for the masses. And at the end of the day, it takes courage for somebody to laugh at their own pain and expose themselves in front of the world to be judged. He's putting this out primarily to make you laugh, but the second objective is to make you think about, how if you were in his shoes, what you have done, and he's giving you a microscope to talk about him because you're not privy to that. He's rich. He could have just hidden his mention and just not say a word about the situation. Chris Rock could just retire as a stand-up act and be in movies for the rest of his career. He'll be fine. This is like a sport for him. This is like, this is where it all started. This is a mental exercise for me. Learning jokes to be able to say it for an hour. It takes a lot. It takes a lot for us to even come here and do this. But people just see it as entertainment. They don't understand a lot that goes into it. But yeah, man, certain shit, some shit is for you, certain shit is not for you. So that's just that.
And the angle that I love that he directed with this stand-up is that he had one bit that was beautifully freaking said. He's like, there's like a couple ways how people thrive off attention, like how they want attention, they fiend for attention. And he said one of them is becoming a victim.
Of course.
And he made it very clear, is like, I don't want to victim shame because there's real victims in this world. But if you really want attention, you have to, he said one of them is show your ass. You have to become a victim. He said a couple other things, but that's the one that really like stuck in my mind because we don't have to talk about it too long, but I don't know if you see that like Angela Yee from the Breakfast Club is doing interviews now saying that, how it was hard for her being the only woman on the Breakfast Club. But it's like, fam, the shit you were talking about, it's like, I'm pretty sure you didn't care about that shit when you was getting the checks.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm not trying to bash Angela Yee, but it's like, I just feel like, I don't know what your ratings are doing, if your show, all the best luck to her, but it's like, I just don't like when you people kind of like want to become a victim just to get a little bit more attention, because that's how, like, I haven't heard of Angela Yee since she brought up with this interview.
Yeah, of course. I mean, what I didn't like that joke because I felt like he did play the victim a little bit in the special, because I think so because he said, "Hey, Will Smith, you don't get props for being a nigga that you could beat." That's you saying you was a victim of a nigga bigger than you doing something to you that you couldn't defend yourself against.
I disagree.
No, I'm just saying that's how I read that one. Because he was like, yo, that's some bitch ass shit. You did something to me knowing you could beat me.
Yeah,
That's you as a man saying, like, hey, you did something to me.
Yeah, but he also did say that like he felt like that slap wasn't for him. He just happened to be the one that got hit.
Oh, of course.
Which is powerful as shit because I'm
Of
pretty
course.
sure out of all the shit he's been going through. And Chris Rock even broke down all the crazy shit that really happened with Will and Jada. It's like, fam, how would you feel if like you were cheated on and the woman that cheated on you is interviewing you in front of the freaking whole world?
Of course.
Like, can you imagine that? Like, oh yeah, I sucked some other nigga's dick. How did you feel?
I don't think that's how it went down because I saw
Literally, that's how it went.
I saw the actual clip.
Like,
I mean,
fam,
but-
like, that's pretty much what happened. Yeah, I fucked some other nigga. How do you feel about it?
Again, I think that topic is sensitive because we don't know what Will Smith was doing behind closed
And you know,
doors. Because we've heard for
like,
years
fuck
they
that
had
up.
an open marriage, so she probably had to deal with a whole bunch of side bitches, and she had to be quiet about it. And that was her lick back moment. You feel me? So I can't really like that situation because Will hasn't been messy enough. We can't really equate the two. So Will definitely looked like the victim from that situation. But
Can I be
you never know.
100% honest? Even I'm glad he brought that up. It's like, oh, we don't know what Will did to Jada. Fam, at this point, I don't give a fuck because he did it in private.
No, I get it.
Like, fam, like you writing letters. I know we talked about this a long time ago, but fam, you writing letters to Tupac, freaking parading August Alsina, then August Alsina doing an interview. Fam, I don't know I don't even see Will Smith even shaking hands with a woman in public.
Nah, but that's the thing. That's people deal. I can't hit you. I can't get up right now and punch you and determine or tell you how to respond to that. You get what I'm saying? So Will Smith could have done his dirt in private. You feel me? But Jada's way of coping with that or dealing with that or reacting to that might be, okay, nigga, you try to create that perfect image, husband, lover. Let me taint that a little bit. Let me show the world the real you. Because, I'm pretty sure she didn't start doing this shit out of nowhere. You feel me? And I'm pretty sure he knew before he did the interview that this was going on behind closed doors. But,
Exactly.
that's not, we don't have to die on this hill today.
Pretty much. So,
But yeah, I mean, I'll give it a go again. I'll watch the full thing and analyze it for myself. But I mean, like I said, it's mature content.
I think people were honestly looking more forward to like Marlon Wayne's special that just came
Or
out.
the messy shit too.
Where he really because Marlon Wayne's literally talked about the slap, the whole freaking stand up. I'm like, fam, you wasn't even there, but you made this shit your whole stand up. Granted, it was funny, but I think a year or two from now we're gonna look at it as corny.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And plus, it's not your situation, nigga. Shut up.
Exactly. No matter how close you are to all the parties involved.
Yeah, it's not your story to tell, nigga.
Man. So now we got to get into NBA lane.
Oh man.
We got Jah Wick on the scene. So where the fuck do I start? So apparently
man.
we got the shooter himself on and off the court. We got freaking Jah Morant. He was recently caught on IG Live waving a gun in a club apparently in Denver, Colorado. Now, of course, NBA players, you can't be flashing a gun expecting to be on court the next day. That's what's gonna happen. So apparently, Jah Morant has been getting a lot of backlash regarding to the video. Apparently, news came out today that I don't think there's gonna be any criminal thing that's gonna happen to him.
He didn't do anything bad.
Because the thing is, like, we don't know what.
Well, he
gun
didn't
laws-
harm anyone. Let me just say that.
He
I
didn't-
can't say he didn't do anything
He
bad.
didn't harm anybody, but he did put some. Technically, he put people at risk for bringing a firearm around NBA players, and we don't know what city he was in.
Nigga, them NBA players could have been strapped themselves.
But yeah, he's not getting fined by like the state of Colorado, but the NBA is planning on punishing him in some way, shape, or form because he did get a little two-game suspension, but they threw out that he might get suspended for about 50 games, depending. Because
That's cap. They need him.
they need, of course, because like Jah Morant is the cash cow and he brings in a lot of money to the city of Memphis and to the NBA in general. But with Jah Morant, this isn't his first incident recently.
Of course.
Like apparently there was a situation where like he wanted to jump some dude in like a Foot Locker because he said he didn't like the way he was talking to his mother. He has a story now where like he beat up some 17-year-old kid.
At his
and
house.
and another scenario where it's like apparently one of his friends like flashed like a red beam at like someone on the Pacers and shit. Now it's like, fam, with all this shit going around your name, my personal opinion, I just think you need to sit down for a little bit.
Of course.
Not in jail, but you just need to be like, yo, really need to learn what consequences are. Because when you give money to a young black dude who's probably didn't come from the best neighborhood, but you just literally give him $200 million, shit like this gonna happen.
Well, for me, in the case of John Morant, my analysis is he's going through an identity crisis. I feel like these kids at a young age, their parents or they push themselves so much to achieve the goal, whether it's music or just sports, that their whole lives, you feel me, is predicated upon that. So they don't really have the time to party, to do things with their friends because again, like basketball is the lifestyle now. You get what I'm saying? Like you even see it with LeBron. LeBron does it in a more mature way, but him hanging out with Drake, you have no business hanging out with Drake. Drake is a rapper. You're an NBA star, but guess what?
NBA star.
You feel me? But guess what? I got money now. I got free time. I could link up with the rappers. I could go to my son's game. I could host taco night at my place and do a concert for my son and shit like that. So I just feel like, but there's just ways to go about it. I think he's fascinated with street culture. I can't speak for his personal upbringing, but I heard his dad played in the NBA, and he played. I heard his dad play with Ray Allen, and I'm sorry,
In college, I believe.
he played in college. His dad played in college with Ray Allen. So, and his dad had a decent job growing up. So he had both of his parents in his life. I don't think he was a street nigga growing up. He doesn't, his pictures that I've seen online and who his parents are, it does not strike me as that. But again, when you have people saying like you had a silver spoon, when you have people saying you had you was in a 2-parent household or you went to a private school, like to not be considered soft, you might try to hide that insecurity with toughness. You feel me? And you might pick up certain habits or you might adopt certain things or just be surrounded by a group of people that, that are cut a way that you're not cut. You feel me? Like, nigga, you worth almost 9 figures. You not you feel me? You're not that. And by the way, the last thing I want to say about this, just to be clear, to any successful person out there that is in that predicament, I think it's more gangster that at your age you are worth that much money because the money that you have, there's people that have never seen that type of money in their entire lives. There are small businesses that will never make that much money. You are making as much as a conglomerate. You are making enough money to be a fucking Fortune 500 company. So you are a cash cow. You are a money-making machine, and you are feeding so many people with your talent, bro. Sit the fuck down. It's more gangster to say, hey, I'm taking care of this whole shit. I'm taking my family out the hood. I'm buying everybody in my family a car. You feel me? I'm transforming, the trajectory of my future kids. You feel me? I'm building generational wealth. You get what I'm saying? Cool. You want to have a few street niggas on the side for protection when you going somewhere? That's fine. I'm not saying to disconnect from where you came from and to not be fascinated by street culture. But you could do that from afar. Nigga, you got to keep yourself away from that, though.
I think
Never fuck up the money. Never fuck up the bag.
Never fuck up the bag. And I love a quote that Kanye said, even though he doesn't really follow his own quotes, but he says, money doesn't make you more mature. It actually makes you younger because a lot of people baby you when you have a lot of money. Because like think about John Morant's situation where it's like, yeah, I'm getting paid all these millions of dollars. I can have whatever the fuck I want. I can fuck whoever I want. And I'm literally not facing any consequences. So when you literally fuck up here and there, here, and there's no consequences, it's gonna keep happening, but worse.
And you're gonna think it's normal.
And the thing that like what I suggest, even though obviously I don't know, John Morant most likely doesn't watch this podcast, but it's like, fam, I just really think you need to change up your circle.
Of course.
Because fam, like we always see you with your friends and we see you with your father, and it's like, fam, if your dad is around you all the time, I think you need to like, not saying like take your dad out your life, but it's like, fam, you need to really tighten up your circle, and maybe even not even to throw this word out because some people take it as disrespect. Maybe get some therapy because maybe you going through something that we probably just don't see. If you have some type of paranoia why you need a gun, I think you need to get some therapy for that, bro.
I mean, I see it again. There's been a lot of allegations surrounding him, but I see it the same as Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was an older man that built a whole amusement park in his home in his late 30s, early 40s.
Weird.
You feel me? Well, we consider that weird, but nigga, if I never been to Disney and I'm worth billions of dollars and I never been to an amusement park in my life,
to my house.
yes, I'm gonna bring Disney to my house. I'm gonna enjoy hanging out with kids. It's just that's what it is. So to me, it's like, bro, if you miss certain things, create that environment, but don't go too far off script because it's like, bro, you still are in charge of a lot of things. A lot of people rely on you. And nigga, if this don't work, what else you gonna do? What's the alternative? If this goes left and you lose everything, what else are you good at this stage in your life that could make you that much money?
I already have it. I probably can't even keep this in the podcast, but I have a theory about why people dislike R. Kelly but love Michael Jackson. I got a little theory.
What is it?
R. Kelly was molesting little girls. Michael Jackson was to white boys. That's why the black community don't care. That's always been my theory.
I can't say that's hilarious, but I understand that point. I never thought about it like that.
That's why the black community do not care.
Well, you gotta bleep that. You gotta bleep. Well.
Oh, that's gonna take it out. That was intense.
You can leave it. You can leave the original. Just cut out the bullshit I said.
This is what happens when we won't see each other in a while.
Yeah, that's a fact. All right, let's get into Creed 3.
Here we go.
Creed 3. Listen, I have a lot to say about this movie. You call it hate, but I call it, analysis. But yeah, go ahead and start us off. What was your reaction, and how did you feel about it?
Okay, so I picked theater to see Creed.
I did too.
Of course. So with the experience, I do love the cinematography. I did actually love the story of the fact that he had his homie back in the day, went to jail, came back, and now he's kind of pretty much on a revenge tour. Mm-hmm. I dig that. I really did love the acting in the movie. That's just me. I don't know if everyone's been talking about that. I really do love the acting in the movie. How I can say it, for some reason, the movie, I felt like the movie could have been a little bit longer.
Okay.
And one critique I was actually surprised I don't really see people talking about it. I didn't really care for the fight scenes like that. I don't know if it was just me. Because when I watched the first Creed and the second Creed, the boxing matches were a little bit more believable. Mm-hmm. I did see. I liked that he took a little new turn with the fighting matches. He kind of put a little more an anime twist to it, which I do appreciate. But as far as what Jonathan Majors, he killed it. I think he couldn't. The only thing I did request, I think Jonathan Majors could have a little bit more scenes. That's just my opinion. My only real critique about this movie, I just felt like the daughter had too many scenes. The daughter had about a good 15 minutes. I think they could have gave out of those 15 minutes, they could have gave 6 or 7 to Jonathan Majors. And another thing that I didn't appreciate with the movie is that, fam. Oh yeah, and of course, spoiler alert. Jonathan Majors, when he has to fight the Mexican boxer, and I'm like, fam, that's not believable. Do you see how big this nigga Jonathan Majors is? Compared to him? This nigga look like a welterweight freaking competitor. Jonathan Majors is obviously a heavyweight. I think it would have been more realistic and entertaining if he fought the dude Drago.
Yeah.
That would have been, and
Because they would have
especially,
been somebody his size,
bro. And on top of it, with Jonathan Major's
or weight
character,
class. Mhm.
with the Jonathan Major's character, I still wasn't really. It wasn't that believable. He was an amazing boxer, in my personal opinion. I wasn't sold he was an amazing boxer. And one thing I did appreciate, this is
Character development.
character development, but there was no character development.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna let you. But generally, I'm gonna give the movie a solid 8 out of 10. I would watch it again. I did appreciate the movie. It was very watchable, and I think it was worth the hype. In my opinion.
Did you go alone or did you go?
Oh, I went with Gael, of course. Spent way too much money at iPick,
Okay.
the
All right.
usual. I was well fed during this movie, what kept me happy.
All right. I wrote some notes down about this movie.
When a nigga has some notes and he looking down at his phone.
And again, I don't want what I'm about to say to come off the wrong way. I'm gonna try to be very polite.
Did you like the movie?
I'm gonna start with that. Let's start with some love. Creed 3. It was a cool flick. Shout out to Michael B. Jordan. That was his directorial debut. The movie, I saw come in here that the movie made over $100 million in the box office.
First weekend.
Domestic and international. First week. Salute. And I felt good, having a black film that, had nothing to do with slavery. So that was a plus. That was a plus. It's about time that Hollywood sees that, you don't have to focus on our trauma, even though this movie talked a little bit about trauma.
Even though niggas is fighting each other to
Yeah,
death.
of course. You don't have to focus on our past and slavery to sell this movie and for us to win an award. You get what I'm saying? So I like that. And it was predominantly an all-black cast, which I respected, besides the Spanish family, the Spanish boxer that was in there, and his, his potentially mixed, biracial, maybe woman or wife in the movie. All right, now let's start with some of my critiques for this movie. This movie was clearly sponsored by Rolls-Royce and Hennessy. Michael B. Jordan, you listen, I'm not no rich nigga, but I know nobody is gonna buy a Cullinan to drive it by themselves the whole time. You this rich boxer, you driving your Rolls Royce by yourself with no security is crazy to me. That was not that believable. And Hennessy, y'all not slick. Shout out to Hennessy. Hopefully we get to work with y'all someday. But nigga,
there's a lot of sponsors in this movie.
The arena had Hennessy on it. When he poured Jonathan Majors the drink in the house, it was a Hennessy bottle y'all picked up. Like, I saw what was going on.
I didn't even pick all this
up. And listen, it's stereotypical. Black men, Hennessy. Okay, I see what y'all did. It's cool. Now let's continue.
Oh no.
You pandered to the deaf community. Your daughter is deaf, and you
say deaf.
No, deaf. Okay. The daughter is deaf. So now you pander into that community by one, learning sign language and communicating with your daughter for 40 minutes out the movie in sign language.
That's kind of crazy. All right, but before you continue, because the people are I feel them comment, like writing them down. They did talk about deafness in Creed 1.
I know his girl
Creed
is
2.
His girl is
Yes.
deaf, but I didn't know that shit was genetic. I didn't know the daughter was gonna.
Did you see the second one?
I did see the second
They
one.
did talk about that the baby was going to be deaf in the second movie.
Cool. I'm just saying. I didn't know he was gonna, his way.
Oh my God.
Why you have to be that? I didn't know he was gonna do that the whole movie. I just didn't know that. I'm being honest.
Yes.
I'm being honest. We can bleep that. All right. Jonathan Majors and Michael B. Jordan. There's a small part of the movie where you guys discuss group home. You was in a group home. Fam. So now I feel like you checking out boxes. You feel me? You was in a group home. Oh my God, now you can resonate to people that have been in group homes. a big part of the story. The point that changed your lives is the nigga in the group home was beating y'all up. Obviously, anybody that was raised in a foster home or was, you feel me, did not have their parents in their lives that had to be in a group home can resonate towards that. So not only are you pandering to the deaf community, you pandering to the social system. You know, a part of, in black culture. You get
Not that
cool,
deep.
that's fine. I understand. So I got that. Let me keep going further. You almost went to jail as a juvenile. Talk about black trauma. Talk about the black experience. Almost going to jail, went to jail. Okay, I get it. You try to relate to the common black folk. Great. Your mom is sick and is in her old age. You care about her, going to visit, telling her what not to drink, what to drink. I get it.
And she's drinking Hennessy.
She's drinking Hennessy. She drinking wine. And again, stereotypical black mother by herself because unfortunately her husband died. Cool, we get it. Listen, I'm very analytical when I watch movies. Okay, cool. Family time with daughter and wife is obscured. He talked about in the beginning scenes like, oh, we don't even spend time like that anymore. You be in the studio, this and that. Now you see the wife, has a passion outside of him, and she still want to be her own self despite his success. We get it. I understood why you did that.
They gonna hate us for this.
And we saw him getting used to the retired lifestyle, not knowing what to do with himself, sleeping all day, big ass house, don't know what to do, dedicating his life in the gym and seeing young talent, grooming young talent, da 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 da. Like, all right, dog, I get it. Like you try to. This is like the Tom Brady story. It's like, fam, if I retire, what am I gonna do with myself? You get what I'm saying? And all right, cool. Now you gotta learn how to spend time at home now and see what your wife had to go through when you were away boxing and shit. Okay, cool. I get it. Cool. We seen different type of emotion being displayed: revenge, anger, hate, guilt, remorse. We even see a little bit of gang culture. We saw later in the movie that Dame joined a gang in prison. When Michael B. Jordan, his character, Adonis, visited him at the beach after his first victory, nigga, whole blood now. We in L.A. I know what you did. I'm telling you what you did.
Can I mention something while you talked about like how him being in LA?
Yes.
Fam. So Jonathan Majors, like he spent 18 years in prison. You come out, you can afford a home, an apartment in LA. After one fight, you in a penthouse.
You saw that, right? He had a bitch on the couch. He in a penthouse. Okay.
Fam, you've been out for 5 fights. Max.
After your first fight, with no Asian, who the fuck
No
was them niggas in his corner? Who the fuck was them
Where
niggas?
these niggas come from?
But cool. Again, we gotta talk about character development because I don't feel like they built him up enough. We just saw his potential and who he could have been before he went to jail. But we didn't see him training in prison, getting into fights in prison. Like, we could have got a little bit more about his character to see that if he's legit or not, if he kept on fighting.
I think with this movie, they trimmed a lot of fat.
Trim a lot of fat. Okay, cool.
Adonis. Wait, hold on. There was wasn't there a jail scene in the trailer where like Adonis was in like some jail and there was people chanting his name. He was looked up. He looked like he was in a prison jumpsuit, in like a green jumpsuit in the trailer. That wasn't in there.
Oh, I didn't see that. But I got, okay, Adonis was, one of the fights he had with the mom in the movie, he was the outside kid. Apollo Creed had Adonis outside of his marriage. So that's one of the fights that he had with the mom in the movie. Oh, I was not accepted when I got here. All right, you get it?
You can't please niggas.
Typical mama's boy or whatever. He didn't feel the love or nobody agreed with him. So
you
now
calling him a fake mama's boy?
Dog, stop it. You pandering to parents and the dynamics between, moms and sons. All right, letters from jail.
This is just hate at this point.
Letters from jail. All right, cool. Now you are relating to the people that don't know how to respond when somebody is locked away. You're relating to people that don't know how to be there for somebody that's behind bars. Okay, Wife sacrificed career to watch you blossom. We
During-
seen that. We seen that the whole movie.
Releasing during International Women's Month.
Dog. I only have a few more. So we have.
Did you like this movie?
No, I did, but that was my assessment. Okay, I already mentioned he had no driver and no security as a rich nigga in LA driving around in a Cullinan. For people who don't know what a Cullinan is, it's one of the Rolls-Royce cars that are very popular amongst bosses and niggas with money. Cool. And I have you pander to the sports fans. You have Stephen A. Smith of First Take on there. Who you try to relate to?
It's a sports movie.
It's a sports movie. So we couldn't get a sports analyst with you. We had to get the most popular nigga known to do certain sports media to be on there.
Well, what I didn't like, I understand Stephen A. Smith is the bigger name. I think it would have been a little bit more fitting if Max Kellerman, who actually works in the boxing industry.
But that's what I'm saying.
But it
Why
wasn't
get
pandering.
it is. You went and got one of the biggest names in sports journalism to be in this movie because he's a draw. That's pandering, Gary.
Okay, can I say something before you finish your list?
Yes.
I think the people watching and me and I think you came into this movie with a little bit of hate. A little bit.
No, I didn't. I'm just telling you what I saw.
I understand,
And you
but
still not refuting. You still not saying I was wrong with everything I'm naming.
I understand, but it's like I think relating is a little bit better than pandering, because I think the only thing I agree is they pandered with the deaf community. 100% agree with that.
Let
But
me-
everything else, like, bro, pandering to freaking sports, like, come on, bro, that's a little bit of a stretch.
Fam, now, here's my last thing. Now, we find out that your daughter won a box. So now we talking about 3 generations of boxing legends. So even when you retire your role, there's going to be Creed movies about your deaf daughter now to continue the legacy. Cool. And again, here's my thing. When I mean pandering, this is what I meant. This movie was beautifully constructed so you can't hate it. It had all the elements that make you feel like it was cute. You have this beautiful nigga, beautiful family, big house that had the dream career, the wife, the kids, the business, the money, the family.
It was too perfect for you.
It was too perfect. It was too cliche. And on top of that, we knew what was going to happen. The movie was predictable, bro. It was predictable. He was going to win the big fight at the end. What I would appreciated was more fights like the past Creeds of you getting knocked the fuck out because you didn't think the nigga was chump. And then when you get your round 2, you fuck the nigga up. Come on, bro.
Right. Honestly, what I agree,
Your first fight back after 15 years of retirement and you won?
15 years. It was 3.
Fam,
It was
they said, no. Oh, okay, you're right. It was 3. Cool. But I'm just saying, bro, like, no. It was too they added elements, bro, where it's like if you hate on this movie, you a hater. Because they and guess who got writing credits on this movie? Ryan Coogler. The nigga behind Wakanda.
Okay, this is why I say you kind of walked into the movie with a little bit. Look at your stance right now. This is a hate stance.
It's not.
This is a hate
I broke
stance.
down the movie, and you know everything
But
that I
Chief,
said
all right,
happened,
Chief,
and
all right,
you
Chief,
watched the movie.
Be honest when I ask you this question. Did you go into this movie with a clear mind?
Yes, I did.
That's a lie.
Yes, I did. Because listen, I did, but once you start the movie off with your deaf daughter, I'm like, okay, cool. Y'all niggas got me fucked up. Because I know exactly what you about to do. It was a beautiful movie, but it was designed so you have nothing to talk about.
So the reason why I actually preferred this movie, him not getting his ass beat too much, is because, bro, in the first Creed movie, you look like a complete amateur boxer, which I get it. It's the first one. The second one, he's supposed to be well experienced. This Drago beat his ass so bad, he was pissing blood. He was freaking laid up in the hospital. Like, fam, the movie is about you. You can't be getting your ass whooped like this. And literally at the second movie, he barely won the last fight. I'm just glad that this movie showed a little bit more growth in his character and a little bit more like just maturity, and the fact that it's like I just love seeing like I just love movies where you kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel. Yes, the
It was
grind,
predictable,
the
and it was
grind,
superficial.
the
That's
grind
what I'm
is
saying.
cool to look at, but fam, we got to see the end of the tunnel here and there. It was just it was just a breath of fresh air to me.
It was a breath of fresh air. I'm just saying it was superficial a little bit, and it was predictable. That's all. And again, I don't hate it because it's a good family movie. There's no, you know what, Gary? You know what I hate is you know what I'm saying. There's
I
no
understand
sex
when
scenes. There's no heavy cussing.
PG-13.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's a family movie,
Yeah.
and it's something that you meant to watch with your kids in the living room one day, and it's part of a collection of. You feel me? And it's cool to see a black successful family on TV being represented without the dad being a gang member or violent or doing some bullshit. So again, I just get it, but it's just me and my maturity and my taste buds for movies, for quality storytelling. It just felt cheap. That's all. It was cool. And again, I never discredited him as an actor. Don't I'm not taking away from any of his acting, credibility. I'm just saying. That's all.
All right, and all right, so we have a little bit of time left. I do kind of want to get into the subtopic of this topic.
Yeah, for sure.
Was leading up to the Creed movie, Michael B. Jordan apparently had an interview with one of his with a person that he knew, I guess, back in high school, growing up back in Newark, New Jersey. Apparently, the woman, I forgot her name, please forgive me, but she was interviewing Michael B. Jordan at the red carpet, and then Michael B. Jordan instantly recognizes her as like she's interviewing him and says, "Oh yeah, you used to call me corny, right? You used to call me corny, right? Yeah, the little corny kid, yeah." So even though it has been cleared up, she wasn't specifically the one, and apparently in like a previous podcast, I called him corny, but she did admit in the podcast saying that, she did kind of like tease him and make fun of him because he was walking around Newark, New Jersey, which is probably one of the most dangerous cities in the country. He was walking around with headshots. A headshot is like, oh, you're getting ready to do an audition. And people kind of came back. They kind of like gave Michael B. Jordan a little flack because they said, oh, he was corny for like G checking her, like, oh, you see where I'm at now, I see where you at. Kind of like not being the bigger person and letting bygones be bygones.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why I think Michael B. Jordan was literally 100% in the right for me is because I know what it feels like when people discourage you on your come up, but when you literally reach a certain status, now they on your dick.
I get it.
And of course, and literally me and Cheese had this conversation off mic of like, fam, out of anybody that wants to pop their shit when they supposed to pop their shit is that man sitting across from me. And what I loved about this too is that I think it was very classy how he did it. Like, in my opinion, I think it was classy because he could have went 100 times better. He could have went 100 times harder. Fam, if that was like, I think I would have did it the same way. But you gotta remember, this is a person that was literally talking down on him. Meanwhile, like, people are calling Michael B. Jordan corny because of the fact that he is a kid in Newark, New Jersey, doing headshots, acting. And I think in my personal opinion, what got the black community fucked up is like, why is it a man that does not do any form of crime, doesn't scam, doesn't do anything, is considered corny? This man literally was working on his craft, trying to make it in the industry, and he made it. So of course he's gonna pop his shit at that moment, which he did eloquently, in my opinion.
Here's my thing. I think it was corny because there was nothing to gain for him. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is not like
Maybe internally.
It's just it's a aha moment, but it's like when you do that to a girl, when you G-check a girl, you don't get no props for that. If it was another nigga, like if I approach you and be like, yeah, nigga, you was the same nigga talking shit, yeah, I fucked your bitch. Oh, you working for me now. Look at you trying to interview me at my shit. It's different because a nigga could match your that animosity and cool, we could get a cool moment. But it's like, she's a reporter, bro. You are Michael B. Jordan. Your movie just did $100 million this past weekend. You that nigga right now in Hollywood. It's just, fam, you not. Here's my thing. If you are trying to fuck her, back in the day and you couldn't because she called you corny, I get it. But it's like, bro, if you feel that way about some shit that happened years ago, don't allow the bitch to be on the red carpet. You allow her to come knowing that was in your heart that she was going to say that because you knew the list of people that was going to report you. And I'm pretty sure even if you didn't know she was going to be there when you saw her there, it was your choice that you made to go say something to her. You feel me? Kill him with kindness. Kill him with success.
No, fuck that. And everyone knows I'm one of the most humble people you can meet. But trust me, when I got the same smoke for everybody. Don't matter. And I really hate that take where it's like, bro, it's a girl. How you gonna talk to a girl? The fuck I care if you got a vagina or not.
No,
The fuck?
I get it, but I'm just saying you don't get. He doesn't gain no street cred off doing that.
It's not. He don't. Nigga, we just people been calling him corny because he ain't doing no street shit. Does it look like this nigga care about street cred? Maybe they did a lot for him internally. Maybe that was the person. Not saying she was, but maybe that was the person that gave him the drive. Like, yo, I'm gonna get this role. I'm gonna make it in Hollywood.
Great.
To prove people like her wrong, which he did. He did it internally.
So you don't have to highlight that.
And I'm gonna tell
She's
you,
but here's what I'm saying, Gary. I get what you're saying. What I'm saying is like you not a studio head. You not a gatekeeper in Hollywood. Bitch, you are a reporter. I'm Michael B. Jordan.
But
what do I get for responding to you?
And probably it hit right here internally. Like we talked off camera. There's multiple people that would love to come on this podcast.
Yes.
That kind of like treated me some type of way back in the day.
Of course.
And in my opinion, I think it's corny how it's like, yo, fam, if you want to come on this platform, they go directly to Cheech. But you know me personally, how come you didn't hit me? How come you can just man up or just say, yo, my bad, bro, how I treated you back in the day, an apology? I'm going to tell you why she was corny in that scenario. How the fuck you going to come up to this nigga on his red carpet? And I'm going to tell you why. She had to do it because she was at work. If she didn't walk up to Michael B. Jordan, she would literally get shit from her boss saying, how the hell you miss a viral moment, this and that. You better go over there. And now she kind of, what was hella corny, she walk up to the nigga to try to act like, oh, we was cool and fly back in the day. Fuck out of here. And I'm going to shoot that shit down. The fuck, no. We wasn't fly. Oh, she's like, oh, I knew you since back, and we go way back. The fuck you mean we go way back? You was dissing me back then.
Okay, but Gary,
the fuck?
You just presented a situation which we're not gonna discuss. But in that very situation, if you ever run into that person, are you gonna say something or are you gonna keep it pushing?
I always keep it pushing.
Okay. But that's the difference
No.
of how he handled it versus how we
No,
handled
no.
it. When the person reached out to me to come on the show, I immediately sent you the screenshot because I'm like, yo, this person will never be on here because how you did my mans. But I don't have to publicize that.
No.
You know what you did. I know what you did, and he knows what you did.
But let me tell you
so don't try it.
Let me tell you what's corny about the scenario. Everyone is welcome here, but all it takes is an apology. That's what's not corny. You want to come up here but not apologize for what you did to me back in the day? Cool. That's corny. I think what she would have did, what I gave her hella respect for, is she started the interview as like, wow, I know Michael since back in the day, and I will admit, me and my friends, we kind of used to tease him back in the day, saying he wasn't going to make it. He was a corny dude back in the day, whatever. But I want to say is I'm very proud of you of the man you became today. And it would have been a way smoother interview. And if he actually still continued to be like, oh, you used to call me corny, right? Then it would be corny for that. But the thing is, I just think it was lame and corny for her to try to act like, oh, we go way back. Like, bitch, no.
Again, I just feel like he didn't get nothing personally.
I know he
from
did.
doing it
internally, for sure.
I mean, whatever. But
bro, there's a lot of niggas where it's like, I'm not gonna be all up in your face like, oh shit, like, yeah, dog. See, I'm better than you. I make more money with this and that, because that's corny. But it feels like, bro, if you really, I've seen multiple niggas from high school that try to be fly with me, knowing damn well they used to like, they didn't fuck with me back in the day. It's like, fam, you didn't fuck with me then. If you know you treated me fucked up, but you don't want to apologize for today, because I'm big on apology. Everyone that knows me, I'm big on apology.
Yeah,
but
what if they don't know they did something wrong to you? What if it was kids being kids?
It's a conversation. It's a conversation. That's literally what it is.
But who initiates that? You or them?
If they want to have a conversation with me they know for a fact we wasn't fly, you gotta initiate that, bro.
Okay, I feel that. Again,
maybe because I'm a Taurus, I hold grudges. Maybe that's the why.
Here's my thing. I understand exactly what you're saying. There's people that I would shit on. You feel me? To me, and it's like the way I would go about that is more so I'll kill you with success. Like there's people that thought, this was a passion project for us and we was not going to get this far, just doing this. And we did. So it's like now the only revenge is to keep doing it and to keep getting better and better. I stopped entertaining a lot of shit from, people because it's like it doesn't really do anything because you're going to keep staying on the sidelines. You're going to do what you do. You're going to hate. And I'm going to keep doing what I got to do. As long as you're not affecting the money. You're not touching anybody I care about.
I understand, but like
fuck you. I don't care.
I completely understand, but when it comes to like being in industry and a lot of people that's in the industry, if you didn't like get along back in the day, you gotta cross paths eventually.
Of course.
And well, I know like it's time to go, but I gotta say this quick example before we wrap up. I think like a good learning lesson is like one of my favorite, probably my favorite stand-up comedian ever, Ari Spears. He expressed like he was on DJ Vlad. He expressed a time where it's like he was on DJ Vlad and he was talking shit about Key and Peele, saying that those dudes are not really black, this and that. They date white wives, all of that. Kind of saying hella disrespectful shit. I understand he like had a point where it's like, do they really resonate with the black community, whatever. But he kind of did it in a disrespectful way. Now he does an audition. Guess who the fuck is picking people to be in the movie? Fucking Jordan Peele. Like, you just literally, it's like, if you literally start off the audition like, yo, fam, I know I said some fucked up shit back in the day, but I do apologize. That's all. Bro, people don't understand the strength of an apology.
Of course,
a sincere
it goes
apology.
a long way. It goes a long way.
But when you trying to like brush shit off like shit never happened, no, it's smoke for you until I get that apology. That's just me.
I get it.
Sorry, I got passionate about it. But that scenario hit me, bro.
No, really. I get it. It's up to it's stuck. I mean, I get it. Listen, don't get me wrong. I hold grudges too. It's just the way I go about it is just different because I analyze things differently. I get my lick back differently. I'm more analytical with my kills. Like, I feel like if I had power, I would make sure you have a hard life. Like, I would know the police officers in your neighborhood. I would know the mayor of your city. I would know the principal of your school and hit you there. I would not directly come through and punch you in the face. Like, I go where it hurts for me. Like, I'll make sure, nigga, I put a billboard of this podcast in the middle of your neighborhood right across from your house if you've been talking shit. That's my level of petty. It's not like,
I don't like, obviously I don't go out my way to be like petty to people, but it's like I only have an issue with people that want to continue a relationship knowing they did some fucked up shit in the past.
I get it. And I respect that. And as a man, you gotta stand on what you believe in and your values. And if that's one of them, don't compromise that shit.
Bro, you gotta stand for something or you fall for anything. I'd stand by that shit.
Nah, real shit, man. This was good. This is another therapy session for us.
Of course, when we just the two of us, some shit get talked about.
Some shit get talked about and we go overboard, nigga. We left like 4 topics out.
Of course.
But it's cool.
This nigga had a full hate rant for Creed 3.
Yeah, I did.
At least you admit it now.
No, I didn't. It's not a hate campaign. It was just more like, nigga, I see what you did.
This nigga Cheech was watching the movie Panda.
Oh, man,
it's been another episode. We are back in full swing of things. Thank you for everyone that's been commenting, giving us feedback on the show. Remember, we are available on streaming platforms. And when you watch this video on YouTube, can you be a freaking human and watch it in freaking 1080p minimum?
Yeah, for real.
Come on, fam. Like, we pay a lot of good money to bring out some good quality content. Exactly. At least watch us in fucking HD.
Yeah, exactly. I want people to have the full experience. I want you to listen to it, and if you're able to watch it, I feel like it's different because you get to see us, our mannerisms, what we say, how we look like, the person saying that. Because I feel like you resonate with people more when you could put a face to that voice. But yeah, like, subscribe, share, hit us up on socials. Let us know how you feel. And yeah, let us know how we can make this a better experience for you. Because again, we just 2 guys really doing what we want to do, and we try to bring you content to brighten up your day a little bit. So, and we hope you enjoy it just as much as we enjoy making it for you. I go by the name of Cheech, aka I said what I said, aka I always get my lick back, aka thanks for all the support, man. That's it for me.
Shit, man. I go by the name of Gary, aka In Gary Trust, aka when it's up, it's gonna stay up there until I get my apology. Aka I guess corny niggas are in style. And what is this?
This is These Are the Aesthetics.